Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, a few months ago I had the opportunity to visit the Children's Advocacy Center in my hometown of Rock Island, Illinois. The work that they do there to help children and their families that are victims of crimes is truly amazing, and I am grateful for their commitment to the helping of the children that need it the most. April is recognized as a National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Unfortunately, sexual abuse of children is still a serious problem in our country, and too many cases go unreported. My colleague from California and I have introduced H.R. 3486, the Speak Out to Stop Child Abuse Act, which would require states that receive federal funding under the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act to have a law on the books that makes it a criminal penalty for any adult knowingly that fails to report the sexual abuse of a child. H.R. 3486 simply asks states to help by requiring adults who witness the sexual abuse of a child to report it. I want to thank Congresswoman Bass for introducing this legislation, and I also recommend that all of my colleagues help support this also. Thank you.
The gentleman yields back. For what purpose does the gentlelady from California rise?
To address the House.
Without objection, the gentlelady is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. During this month, it is important that we acknowledge the role that we all play in promoting the social and emotional well-being of children in our communities. Unfortunately, throughout this congressional term, we've been astonished by a few high-profile child sex abuse cases, and in some situations, the abuse was unreported for years, leaving dozens of youth vulnerable to further maltreatment for decades. This is unacceptable. Adults should never turn a blind eye after seeing sexual abuse firsthand. Sadly, failing to report child sexual abuse is not new. In 1999, Sharice Iverson, a 7-year-old girl from Los Angeles, was attacked in a restroom. A witness didn't stop the attack or even call for help. She was ultimately murdered. Fortunately, California enacted a law in her name to help ensure this never happens again. At the end of 2011, Representative Bobby Schilling and I introduced a similar bill here in Congress. The Bipartisan Speak Out to Stop Child Abuse Act requires all adult witnesses to report child sexual abuse to law enforcement or child protective services. I ask my colleagues to co-sponsor this bipartisan bill.
The gentlelady's time has expired. For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana